Hi everyone, welcome to ELI, the place where you get your daily dose of inspiration for entrepreneurship. And today we have with us Mr. Milan Ganatra, co-founder of 1SilverBullet, a next-gen financial infrastructure platform that allows organizations to access the financial data of their customers and facilitate direct access to financial services. Milan is also a serial entrepreneur and investor in multiple ventures. Hi, Milan. Welcome to ELI.
Hi, Priya. Good afternoon.
Very good afternoon. I would request you to introduce yourself to our audience, please.
So my name is Milan Ganatra. I am the co-founder CEO at 1SilverBullet. Uh, this is my second venture, which I have. This is a COVID-born venture, and this has been my dream. And I've been dreaming since 2017. And this is the reason for this venture. I sold my earlier company, which was Smile Software, in 2018, and I was part of Mile Software until March of 2021. And I'm hoping that 1SilverBullet fulfills the dream what I have, the reason why I sold my earlier venture.
Tell us about One Silver Bullet. First, start with the name. What does the name convey to people?
Okay, okay. So it has two connotations. One is silver bullet. So silver bullet stands for solving a complex problem very simple, which is what we're trying to do. So it's not we liked word silver and we liked bullet and hence we made silver bullet. No, it is actually solving a complex problem very simply, and which is what we're up to at doing at silver bullet. Why one? So one is where we want to be number one. So you got to be say number one in solving the complex problem very simply. So that's why one silver bullet.
Okay. Now tell us about it. What is it about?
Okay, so one silver bullet is creating a financial gateway. So there has been being part of a fintech world since last 20 plus years. I really looked at the digitization to an extent was not democratized. Yes, the democratization of digitization was there only in case of payments and mutual funds, and which is what we're trying to bring in other areas where can we digitize other investment products? Can we digitize insurance as a product, and can we digitize lending as the third vertical? So we're looking at creating a global standard protocol for communication between two businesses. So hypothetically, if uh, let's take the use case of any sales kind of a use case where you have usually the financial products are sold in India and globally through financial intermediaries, and their communication to the product manufacturers is usually physical in nature, or even if it is digitized, it is not democratized.
Mm.
So here at One Silver Bullet, we're creating a standard protocol which will allow them to communicate between these two entities. So we will hopefully make a world of difference how the financial products have been sold until now and how they will be sold later. And we will possibly fuel a very major level of digitization in these products where otherwise the infrastructure had to be built by each of the distributor or a manufacturer by themselves, and they had all disparate protocols or APIs which used to do this. So it's a very so-called complex problem, but we're trying to solve it very simply. I hope you're
Uh,
able to get it, Priya. Yeah.
as you rightly mentioned, it is a complex problem that you are going after, and very broad scope of the problem. But can you help us with the example on how you are solving the problem on a ground level?
Okay, so let's take hypothetically an example of insurance, which most of us follow. So today in India, we'll take India as an example. One silver bullet is not just confined to India, but I'm taking an India example to start with. So let's say there are 57 insurance companies. They're called insurers. Each of these guys use their own disparate systems. So that means if somebody wanted to actually sell online insurance, okay, they had to integrate with these 57 insurance companies individually
Mm.
because there is no standard way to connect to them. So what we are at One Silver Bullet is bringing one connection. Okay, so where we have one nation, one tax, we're saying one nation, one connection for insurance. So so these distributors would use One Silver Bullet APIs to connect to all these 57 insurers. I would sort not say APIs, but the gateway, because we're going to take them through the whole journey. So let's say if it's an insurance product, and let's say you are a distributor, you are a large tech enabled platform, and you are looking to have insurance online. Now if that was to be built, as I told you, and let's say you were to do life insurance in India, there are around 20, 21 life insurance companies. And if you were a tech enabled platform, you had to kind of work and connect to these 21 connections. So as we said, well, they'll connect to us. So first step is to, let's say when you're buying an insurance, the first step is to get quotations. Saying these are, you give your needs, and so as a consumer, you would be using any tech-enabled platform. At the back end, we will be working. So this consumer tech-enabled platform in turn would make a request to us as One Silver Bullet. In turn, we would make a request to these 21 insurance companies. So these tech-enabled platforms don't have to communicate back and forth with these 21 insurers or insurance companies. We would make these calls to these 21 insurance companies. We would get back all the relevant codes, which we would be then the tech enabled platform would be able to kind of showcase those codes to you. You as a consumer can choose what suits you, and then you will also be able to buy insurance online. So then the will again connect saying, oh, this is the quote what I like. So proposal is made, you will buy an insurance policy, a policy will be posted back to you. So all this is happening through One Silver Bullet. So it's like, I'm sure some of us have used payment gateways, some of us are used to words like master, visa, UPI. Technically you can tell us we're going to be the UPI for insurance, we're going to be the UPI for other investment products, we're going to be the UPI for lending space. So that is what One Silver Bullet is all about in one word. So I'm sure we're all beneficiaries of UPI. It's changed how we are today making payments. It's One Silver Bullet is going to change how you're going to potentially buy these financial products. Then the further use case will come as you'll be able to make claims, you'll be able to uh, get your statuses, change your profile, whatever you want to do in in one single click. So that's really the thought process where we will enable these tech-enabled platforms. So we're going to be the highway or the bridge connecting these tech-enabled platforms to these insurers or these financial product manufacturers. So that is what One Silver Bullet is all about.
I was going to say Shopify for financial products. You said UPI. I think
Yeah.
that is a more suitable analogy. But if it were true, that would also mean that you would enable small and smaller and micro entities to become a financial service provider. Just anyone can come and start his or her fintech company.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's the idea. That's how anybody was able to do a neobank. Anybody was able to do those stuff and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Okay. Now take us through the journey of the ventures so far. Tell us, how did this idea came in the first place?
Okay. So this idea really honestly came to back to me way back in 2017. Uh, and that is the reason as I told you, in 2018, I sold my earlier venture, which was a very successful product company into wealth and asset management. Uh, December is where I started thinking. March of 21, we started this entity. This is March 21, and we've worked really hard. We've been able to hire 60 people. We are a 60-member team now. Our product on the investment product side has just gone live last week. We are now have a wait list of 30 large investment product manufacturers who are into portfolio management services and AIFs. So hopefully in August, we should be able to onboard at least 10 plus more manufacturers on our platform. So technically, we are live with investment product. So we, as I told you, the journey started just in March. We really worked hard. My team is, we have an amazing team which is part of One Silver Bullet. We've been working relentlessly, like 14, 16 hours a day to make sure that the quickest we're able to bring in. We've got now tie-ups with at least 15 odd insurers out of 21 life insurance companies. So they've been giving us a massive support. So currently it's been funded by myself. Yes, we will be looking out for some credible investors in coming days and weeks and months who can really, really add value to what we are creating, because I think they can bring an amazing amount of value with their experience, with their connects, with all the knowledge they have. It'll be an amazing stuff, which we're hoping to have few of those guys as uh, One Silver Bullet. Yeah.
Since you mentioned you have 30 BFSI partners are waiting for integration with you, tell us how did you generate such interest in the market for your product?
Yeah, see, I'll tell you very honestly, we've not done any marketing so far. Okay, to be very upfront, because we're solving a real problem. So one thing is for sure, solving a real problem. And as you know, if you're solving the real problem, if you're really making their complex, the most complex thing, you're helping them to simplify. They don't mind working with a startup, and these are all large, credible portfolio managers in AIF. So, so I think, and fortunately, I have enough experience in the financial services world. So, and obviously, which also leads to some more, I would I would not say connections, but yeah, you know them, they know you. So a lot of guys have been my past clients, so they've seen all the good work we've done so far. And but yeah, but it's a new startup, so they're backing us very, very well, because we think, because they think we're solving the real problem.
Tell us about the team you have, which is building such a beautiful product and also selling it to prospective customers.
Yeah, so our team has been, so one thing we really made sure that we'll have a great combination of young and old people like me. So I'm 50, and but the average age at, besides me, if I take my age off, we should be like in the range of 26 years. That's the average age we're running at One Silver Bullet. That's the age group we are into. So we've got a lot of young uh, folks who passed out from very credible institutes like BITS, IIT, IIM. They've really, really joined this because they were pretty excited about uh, our concept, and what we're trying to be, what we're trying to become. So they're pretty excited. So we've got some really, really young talent join us, uh, and they work relentlessly. They come up with lots and loads of energy, and a bit of a wisdom from my side and experience from my side. We've been able to channelize that amazing energy which One Silver Bullet team has. So I think it's a great combination of young energy and few senior people like me. I would say senior by age, not by heart, uh, who are able to channelize that amazing energy which the team at One Silver Bullet has.
How do you recruit people into your venture? When I ask this question, I want to know, especially for the young people who don't have any experience into the industry, but only have a pedigree as a credibility. Uh, how do you choose between three candidates, A, B, C, who are from same educational background, and everything remains the same?
Yeah, see, we do run some tests, okay, which are proprietary to us, which kind of talks really about their attitude, their uh, there are several parameters, to be very frank. That's a secret sauce. I would not like to reveal, but obviously we have a proprietary set of tests which we do, which allows us to kind of differentiate between the ones we want to have part of 1SilverBullet and the ones which we don't want to be them to be part of 1SilverBullet. So yeah, so we've got a mix of several ways we kind of do that. So yeah, that's been very interesting. Yeah,
Okay.
firing. But yeah, we've been able to hire. I would say so called at a very decent pace because uh, honestly we started hiring only in February March, and by June July we are like by June of first week we were already 60 people.
Mhm. Um, Coming back to the platform, can you tell us? So, when we talk about products or platforms, there is a concept of product market fitment. So, can you tell us if your platform has achieved that acceptance from the market?
Yeah, as far as investment products are concerned, there is a product fitment. Okay, so as I told you, there is a wait list. So we're seeing a great traction as far as investment gateway is concerned. Insurance gateway we're working on. We already have a wait list of four large distributors who are a tech-enabled platform are looking to use our gateway once we are ready as far as insurance is concerned. So yeah, we're getting that their traction because I'm taking away their headache and actually allowing them to focus on their core business, which is what is what 1SilverBullet is all about. So yeah, so we're getting a good traction because as I keep mentioning, we're solving a real problem. We're making the life very easy going forward. We're taking all the difficult things. Uh, so it's like you don't want to own an aircraft. Why won't you use charter an aircraft or take a seat on an aircraft because it's far more easier for anybody to maintain and manage, right? So I think there is an acceptance, uh, and we're getting enough amount of traction. And obviously, our plans is to not just remain into India, but to go to some other countries as well. Yeah.
Uh, when you say that your investment gateway is ready, that does that mean that just someone can come in and using your platform can open a angel investment firm or something similar to that?
Yeah. So let's say what would happen is, let's say if there is a large tech-enabled platform, let's say an investment platform or a brokerage platform or a wealth platform or so on. Now they will start selling other investment products, which today they were not able to do digitally. Yes, they can start using our gateway and start selling products like PMSs, AIFs, market linked debentures, corporate bonds, corporate deposits using our API. So they can build their own front end, use our gateway. We'll give them connections to all of these product manufacturers. So now they can start selling these products on their portal, website, mobile app, whatever they want to. Yeah.
Fair enough. Now tell us a little bit about the challenges that you have faced along the way while building and growing this venture.
So challenge has been, as I told you, we're a COVID-born company. So most of us have not met each other. So when we created this whole team, we're just going to meet in the coming week. Okay, to be so. Firstly, is building a brand new team uh, to encaps to really spread trust on each other. I think was the biggest challenge, but I think a team was surprisingly very mature, so that we could really overcome that challenge fairly quickly. I think it was a challenge, but I think we've been able to overcome fairly quickly because all the people who've never met each other are trying to create a world class platform. It's never easy. So obviously those were obviously we made plenty of mistakes, so we had to do because we were doing this firstly we were doing I mean we're doing this for the first time. We had to do a few things. I think we were repeated, which in my mind would not have been we would not been able to avoid that because everybody was learning and the team is new. So yeah, we did. we did make a couple of those mistakes. Yeah, I think, and we unfortunately continue to make mistakes, but the good part is we've been able to really overcome our mistakes fairly quickly. So yeah, so it's we're all working from home. As you see, I'm also working from home. We kind of uh, our communication has been one of the challenges. Uh, we've got a very little, small team size. We don't have an accountant. We don't have several special. I mean, I would say support folks. So everybody has to do all the jobs. So we're all generalists. So we're doing everything. So yeah, so some of the things which the team members were not used to doing, they have to they have to do those tasks. So yeah, these are some of the uh, real challenges.
Of course, I think startups are all about that. Uh, I would now be very curious about your personal journey as an entrepreneur. So, my next set of questions would be around that. Uh, Tell us why you have chosen to be an entrepreneur, and when did you think of becoming an entrepreneur for the first time?
Okay, so I was always wanting to be an entrepreneur, but unfortunately, my financial position situation was not great. As soon as I passed my school, my father was blind, so I had to fund my own education. So yes, I did initially pick up a job as I would not say job, but I was a newspaper vendor, which I got elevated as an office boy. And within that office, the brokerage company which I was working as an office boy, I was very fortunate for them to support me in every aspect. And within the next couple of years, I was holding the most important position in that company, and I was pretty clear about I want to become an entrepreneur. So worked there for a few years. I stepped out, saying that because I always had an aspiration to do something of my own, I had no formal education to back me up. But I always felt is if you have the right attitude, you can make it. So yeah, it's been a very tough journey where I couldn't afford to have lunch for first 10 years of my job because all the money which I had, I had to kind of get back to my family so I can have a one time, we all could have one time meal, which is our dinner. So was a difficult situation to pass by. Yeah. But yeah, but pretty confident of what I wanted to do. And I always created a roadmap for myself for next 5 years, although I could never achieve what I wanted to do in that time frame. I was always delayed by a couple of years. But so what I thought I should do in 5 years took me 7 years. What I thought what should I do in 8 years took me, let's say, 10 years, 11 years. I was always behind schedule, but I usually met all my goals. But I kept realistic goals for myself because I knew my own limitations and constraints, what I was into. But yeah, it had a very interesting journey starting from a newspaper vendor, uh, had no tech background, learned tech at the brokerage firm which I worked, which was very supportive of them to really help me do that. So yeah, it's been an extremely interesting journey so far.
Tell us about your childhood, and especially in the context of were there any glimpses of entrepreneurial spirit during your childhood?
Uh, I would say no because, but the thinking was very clear since my schooling, saying I'll always be an entrepreneur. That was very fundamentally very clear. Uh, I did do few things, I would say, few trades, I could say I did uh, to get that bit of that extra money, which you as I was always deprived, being coming from a lower middle class family. So always deprived of that bit of all the what you wanted. So did a bit of work here and there to get that livelihood. But yeah, but always was fairly clear that I'll always be an entrepreneur. I can't work for anybody. It's very difficult. So always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but really didn't do anything as in the childhood. But yeah, I actually started a newspaper vendor from 10th grade onwards. So yeah, that was a bit of an entrepreneurship. You can consider that. Yeah.
Since you mentioned you didn't have any formal education, can you tell us how that played out for you in long run? Any advantages or disadvantages? Or
I think I had a massive advantage. Okay, because I was not coming up with a mindset saying this cannot happen. Okay, because when you get yourself educated, you know this is the path you got to follow. Being uneducated, you know that you don't know what's the right path or wrong path, but you think you can create a path. So I think being not educated, it really allowed me to take a bit of a risk, a bit of uh, willingness to really create something which didn't exist, because otherwise usually if you're educated, you will follow what's being taught to you. But here you were trying to do what is, because you've been taught nothing, right? So you are willing to take those bit of uh, risk and chance, try different things, because you're not running with any perception. If you say disadvantage, massive. There have been, I think, also significant of disadvantage, because I keep on telling people that, oh, you got the best education, get the right attitude. Uh, it could you guys can be next Elon Musk uh, or Jeff Bezos, whoever, because if you have the education and the right attitude, you have a great formula. I've unfortunately had just the right attitude. I didn't have the formal education, so I missed that part for sure. So definitely, I am planning a bit of some executive studies next year. So let's hope that'll really allow me to upskill myself to some extent. But yeah, what you learn at an early age. So I would plead all the young guys. Uh, uh, you can be an entrepreneur all your time, get best education, have the right attitude. I think that combination can be a killer combination. A guy like me with no education, that is a handicap for sure, but it has its own advantages as well. Yeah.
okay. As an entrepreneur, you are expected to stay energetic all the time, at least be consistent all the time. However, a formal education or not, privileged background or not, there would be instances where you may feel tired, restless, and you lose focus. How do you manage such situations?
Yeah, that's right. So fortunately, most of the times I've been able to uh, be able to kind of keep imbibing one of the things which my mother used to tell me. She was from a vernacular medium, but she always told me that this language, work while you work, play while you play. So she used to tell me when I was a kid, that means while you're working, don't get defocused, don't be playful. While you're playing, don't think about work. Okay, so if you can divide that. So if I get digressed, okay, which anybody would, or get tired and say, okay, fine, let me spend 10 minutes here, or let me spend a day here. uh, her uh, or this sentence comes in front of me, and which kind of rejuvenates me and say, okay, fine, let me work while I'm working, let me not get defocused. But it's very common to get defocused, and obviously past few years, some bit of meditation and yoga has helped me as well, where it allows you to remain focused on what you're trying to do, and not get defocused. So yeah, so last few years has been very, very, very helpful. Meditation and yoga, these have further enabled me to do that. But I don't think very few, I mean, at least I still get, I would so called digressed while you're doing, because all of us love doing multitasking. But as time goes by, you realize uh, in real sense you can't do multitasking. So but you still try to do that, unfortunately. So but one thing is for sure, is very difficult. Very few people can do really do real multitask. But yeah, so these are realizations which you come by. Some bits which are what your parents have taught you, some bits like meditation and yoga, which I was not practicing, started doing from last couple of years. Obviously, pandemic helped me to really go on that journey of further consolidate my belief in meditation and yoga, to kind of remain focused, and that's helped me a lot. Yeah.
That is so true. Focus and multitasking don't come together. Having said that, can you tell us about some of the failures that you have gone through as an entrepreneur or individually also?
Yeah, plenty of them. Yeah, so I think we'll have all the time spent on all my failures. So I'll quite a few failures which I had. The first product I created was a big disaster way back in 1998, 99. Uh, I think you cannot make as many mistakes which I made in that single product, right from pricing, right from the UI UX to the the process, everything. So obviously it was a very big learning. So I think was a very big setback. Uh, Failures started my career, but I mean started my business. One of the key things was we were the distributors for a company called Pertec Computers Limited. Uh, Whatever earnings I had from my childhood until the age of, so childhood I started working at the age of 16 until the age of 27. Whatever capital I had saved for myself, all was lost in this company called Pertec Computers Limited, where we were distributors. The company didn't pay us a penny, so I had to kind of restart my journey once again at the age of 27. Uh, and so plenty of failures. I can tell you. At least I believe in my career I would have gone from hero to zero at least 3 to 4 times.
Okay, very
So
interesting.
yeah. But you never give up. So that's the bottom line.
What did you say is the meaning of entrepreneurship to you? How would you define the term entrepreneur?
Okay, so I define my entrepreneur is somebody who is willing to take decisions. So to my mind, whoever is willing to take decisions is an entrepreneur. So you could be an employee of a company, but you're taking the decisions, you're willing to take decisions, I think you're an entrepreneur. So to me, the key part is constantly take decisions. Whether they turn out to be right or wrong is not important, but somebody who is wanting to take and willing to take decisions all the time uh, is an entrepreneur to my mind. Just one word: decision making.
Fair enough. And finally, the last question I have is, tell us about the lessons that you have learned as an entrepreneur. I think it should be a long list of lessons so that we
No,
can
I
take
it
away.
will be very long list. I'll just keep it to one line. When you can make newer mistakes, why repeat old ones? That's my favorite thing.
Okay,
When you can make newer mistakes, why repeat old ones? So make a mistake, but do it only once. Make sure you learn enough lesson out of that so that you don't repeat that mistake. You can make newer mistake, which is fine. So what I'm saying is, please don't repeat the old mistakes. Make newer mistakes. So your list of mistakes you're making. So let's say in my earlier venture, I may have made 10,000 mistakes. So in my another journey, I hope instead of 10,000 mistakes that I've done there, if I'm able to make 5,000 mistakes here, I'll be far more successful than what I did in my earlier venture. So and don't repeat those 10,000 mistakes. So what you made those 10,000 mistakes, if you can avoid them, but this 5,000 could be newer mistakes, which is pardonable. So to my mind, to me, that's the biggest learning. Don't repeat the old ones. Then God also can't help you if you can keep making same mistakes. God say, "Was you've learned from your own mistake, but if you continue to do the same mistake, then I also can't help you. You got to learn from your own mistakes."
sure. Well, I think I we are out of questions. I'm out of questions, and we are almost done with the time. Thanks for your time, Milan, and it was a great pleasure to host you. Uh, and I would say my best wishes for one silver bullet.
Thank you, Priya. Have a great weekend ahead. Bye bye.